Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible, make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan. Pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the cause. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we popping. Let's go.
Dave, we the hottest podcast and we popping. That's what he said, Dave. That's what he said. What's good? What's good, y'all? PNP, what's popping? We in the building, Rashad and Dave. It's cracking. Hope you all have had a great extended weekend. For those that got the day off, shout out to y'all, man. But you gotta remember why you got the day off, man. Of course, we want to take the time to remember all those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. For everybody in the military, we appreciate your service. As one that is from a military family, my dad is retired Army. We greatly appreciate it. And the Army changed my life, even though I'm not in the Army. My dad was. So I appreciate it. Greatly appreciate everyone knows. Shout out to Jared, a couple other folk that are actually active right now. So shout out to y'all. And again, we want to take the time out to remember all those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Dave, what's good with you, bro?
To copy those sentiments. I have family that was in the military, had uncles. My brother was in the military. So once again, happy Memorial Day to all. Remember why we have the day off. But when you go out and shop for that television, remember why you're able to get that sale. Remember the purpose of the holiday other than just a sale. But yeah, man, I'm enjoying my long weekend, and it's not over yet because I got tomorrow off too, and I have Friday off. I'm heading to Philadelphia this weekend for the Roost Picnic, so it's gonna be a good weekend.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to my wife. It's my wife's birthday as well. So we had just got back from the mountains. We was up in the mountains chilling, having a blast. Disconnected a little bit, put the phone down. It's always good to put the phone down, be one with nature out in the wilderness. It was pretty dope, man. It's good. We tend to do that every now and then, and it's pretty dope. I really enjoy it. Semi-disconnected. I was still connected to the streets. I hear, ears always to the streets, so I always know what's going on. But yeah, man, it's always good to kind of semi-disconnect.
That means you didn't watch Double or Nothing.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway, though, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, no.
MJF out here not showing up to meet and greets.
Yeah, no, I heard he got 1 foot out the door, man.
Yeah, man. My man didn't show up to the meet and greets. They were worried that he wasn't going to show up to the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
No, but he showed up. He did his match and he left. It was pretty dope. Punk won the world belt. So,
yep, I saw that.
The summer of Punk has begun. And the Celtics made it to the NBA Finals, baby. We here.
I did see that. Shout out to the Celtics, man. Even though I think the Warriors are going to wash them up. I think it should be interesting. Should be interesting. I think, just Golden State is deep, bro. They deep. But it's crazy how these highly touted players tend to go off when they got guys like Steph Curry around them. You got, Poole and Wiggins, these guys, man. It's crazy.
We'll see what happens. They ain't never seen a defense like this, bro. They ain't never seen a defense like this.
So it's a lot of guys to stop. Dave. That's all I'm saying.
Look, man, we'll see. It should be a good series, though. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I know there's a lot of LeBron truthers, but these playoffs have been pretty good without LeBron in it. And nobody wants to talk about it, but it's fine.
Yeah,
the playoffs have been good. No. You got to check out. You get to check out some different stars. You get to check out some of the other players that are in the league. There's been some phenomenal series throughout the playoffs, both on the eastern and the western side. So this was really good.
Yeah. No, Dave's right. It has been, even though I haven't been tuning in like that. I've caught a couple of games, man. It has been really good too. It's been good to watch. Kind of refreshing for NBA. The NBA to me is kind of boring, at least till you get to the finals. And it's good to see different people, even though we still got Steph in them. It's good to see guys like Jason Tatum and that whole Celtics squad who've been building for the longest. It's good to see them actually build the right way, and then kind of get to the promised land. So it's dope. It's dope. They didn't just put put all stars together. They these are homegrown dudes, and that's dope to see. So I like that.
Most of the folks on that squad was drafted by them.
That's dope. I always love that. And truth be told, the Golden State was built the same way, right? Golden State was built the same way.
Yep.
People hating,
sure was,
but they were really built the same way. So shout out to them, man. I mean, this year they got the different pieces with Wiggins and whatnot, but they built the core of that group with Steph and them was drafted. So I think it's dope. It's good to see, man. It's good to see. It's good to see. Yep. It's good to see. I love it. We're
gonna get these old guys. We're gonna get these old guys out of here. Get this new era popping.
Yeah.
And be in town and see what happens.
I like it. I'm with it. All right, Dave. Let's go ahead and hop into this content because it's actually a lot to talk about. It's amazing how we find a lot to talk about. You can go to other places and they just drum up crap to talk about. We got some good stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Dave, first of all, we got to start out with the Pro Bowl, right? We didn't get a chance to address this last time. The news broke after we had went live, but the Pro Bowl is going to look to change the platform. Obviously, the game is trash. Nobody's really tuning in. And
wait, no. First of all, let me be clear. That's not fair. The Pro Bowl is rated higher than some other sporting events. It's got higher ratings in the World Series.
But you trying to convince us that soccer gonna overtake them?
No, I'm just trying to let you know that the NFL
they were killing you for that, Dave. Too, by the way. I'm just letting
I don't give a damn. Look,
the streets were killing you for that take. You, Dave, you got a lot of bad reviews for last episode, bro. They was killing you, dog.
But you know what that means, right? You know what that means?
What does that mean?
They watched.
They did. They always watch. That's true. What the Hurricanes doing, bro? My bad. Hurricanes getting their ass kicked. Game 7.
Oh, it's Game 7 today?
Yeah, it's Game 7. They getting their ass kicked right now, 2-0, and the game just started too. Shit. All right, my bad. But back to the Pro Bowl. I
didn't say soccer was going to overtake NFL. I said soccer's a threat to baseball. That's all I said. And it's not a lie. It's just a matter of time. And what I also said was about the growth. We know NFL is the king. We get it. You know what I'm saying? But if we want to have a discussion about the Pro Bowl, get that stop sharing line out of your thing. But if you want to have a discussion about the Pro Bowl, we can have a talk about the Pro Bowl, man. It is. I mean, it has turned into flag football. If they would just made it a flag football game, they'll probably make it more competitive.
No, they talking about doing stuff like Madden tournament and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I agree. It's when you look at guys, guys like Jarvis Landry had posted about it, and he said he put a Twitter post out there and said, as Pro Bowlers, we want to enjoy our offseason and get back healthy. Fans wanting something better than it's been the last few years, and it's complicated. He said the risk is higher than reward. Skills Challenge Showdown still happens. More fan engagement events, and weekend ends with senior game. And so I think somebody thrown out there maybe the Pro Bowlers coach the Senior Bowl game, something like that, because it is all intertwined, right? But we got to find out something else because the game ain't it, and obviously people are looking at it as a business decision. I need to get healthy. I need to get my body right. I'm not about to go out there in the Pro Bowl, tear my ACL, whatever could cost me money in the long term. So the people are looking to preserve their body. So I can't fault them for that. It's not the game it used to be. The Pro Bowl used to be dope. It used to be fun to watch. Mm-hmm. And with nowadays, with people like we just talked about, they're trying to protect themselves. Nobody wants to go out there and actually play and hit anybody. it's like Dave said, a glorified flag football game. So I don't know how they fix it. Dave, what would you think? What would you think? How would they kind of? Well, any ideas that you would have to contribute?
There's two ways to do it. One way to do it is to do it during the season, but I know that they'll never do that.
That's even worse. Yeah, that's even
no.
worse.
Hear me out. No, not. I'm not. No, hear me out. I'm not saying do it during the season and play an actual game. I'm talking about doing the skills competition, like select, like kind of make it like a first and second team all pro type of situation. You say these are the guys who make it, so then the players can still get their incentives. You know what I'm saying? But then have some level of a skills competition and put some prize towards that as well. That's my thought. Like, do the thing like when they used to do the quarterback club. I know they still do the skills competition with ESPN. Keep that going. Have them cash run to 40. Do something to that effect, and then still have those guys coach the Senior Bowl. Like, and then that way they're relatively safe. You still could pull a hammy trying to run a 40. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
But at least it'll be a little bit more fun. Folks won't, be as obligated to do it, so to speak. Whereas like in the Pro Bowl, like you getting down to like the 7th, 8th, 9th quarterback for folks who are going to end up playing in this game. So, I mean, it kind of dilutes the purpose of it.
It dilutes the game. Yeah. I saw some people, I think Landon made a comment in the chat that said, yo, if you don't want to play, then don't play. That's true. But then like Dave just said, you get down to the guys that are like, it's not even a Pro Bowl game. It's just another, like you get down to like the 8th string guy, the 9th, 10th
Matt
selection.
Jones was in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you get down to that, and it's really not even. That's not even. We don't even want to watch it at that point. You know what I'm saying? Who we watching it for? So I get it. I get it. I just don't. But yeah, I wouldn't be. Listen, I don't think anybody in the world would be mad. As an NFL fan, nobody in the world would be mad if they just got rid of the game. Like nobody. Just name them. Like name them Pro Bowlers. Let them get their whatever. Their like Dave said, their incentives, and call it a day, bro. We don't need it. It adds nothing. It adds nothing at this point. You got to.
It used to have a purpose. It used to have a purpose because the game used to have a purpose. Yeah, the Pro Bowl used to matter, bro. Like Peyton Manning used to go to the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like Jerry Rice used to play in the Pro Bowl, and they used to take the shit seriously. But then when you understood why they took it seriously, because it was about paying for their trip. Because they talked about how the biggest reason why they played hard near the end of the game was because the winners got a bigger prize. And the winner pot, it was enough to pay for the trip. So they wouldn't have to spend their own money.
Yep.
But a lot of these players are making way more money now. So it's a kind of a different ball game from that perspective.
Shout out to Steven. He says, just stop the Pro Bowl. I'm not. Yeah, I hear you.
No, I get it. I mean, at this point, it doesn't make sense to have it anymore. Like these players are more focused on their health. And you can't
their
blame
bodies,
them for that.
Yeah, you can't blame them. So again, I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but they are gonna make changes to it, and I wouldn't be surprised if obviously the game goes away. They do some sort of Madden tournament or something like. Maybe Miles Hartsfield can get in Madden tournament since he says he claims he's the best player in the league.
He probably is. He probably.
That's what he said. That's what he said, bro. That's what he said, man. That's what he said. All right, so let's move. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play Madden, bro. I stopped playing Madden.
I'm retired.
Years ago, bro.
I'm retired, bro.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. I thought this was pretty interesting, man. Josh Norman goes on VladTV. Dave, did you watch this or any clips of this?
About it.
Bro,
I watched a little bit of it.
This was actually really interesting. It's really good because it peels back kind of that. I don't know. It kind of just gives you the insight to the player at that point, bro. Like, because we know what's going on, and we kind of think we know what's happening behind the scenes, but then he comes out and confirms a lot of what we said and a lot of things that we think we know. He kind of confirmed it. Like the biggest takeaway that I got from the entire interview was he talked about, being on that 2015 team or being drafted and then getting the start immediately his rookie season. And then he got beat. Dave, I think he was at the game, right? The Bills.
I was at that game when he got beat. Yep. Yeah.
So he brought that game up where he got beat. There was a miscommunication, and EJ Manuel, and he got into the doghouse, right? So we all talked about this doghouse that Ron Rivera has, and it's real. Like that doghouse is real, fam. Like he does not play, bro. Like that joint is crazy. Like that joint is crazy. He talked about he sat almost 2 seasons, bro. 2 seasons. He said he played his rookie year. He played, I think, one game in his sophomore year or his second year. Then he sat most of that year, sat his third year, and then his fourth year he came out, and that's when he had the crazy year. But he talked about the fight with Cam Newton and how that kind of went down. About how the defense and the offense was going at it, and in practice they just got competitive, right? So, and it happens. We've seen it happen before on this team, which is crazy. I got a crazy segue. Got a quick question for you. Do you realize this, Dave? And I just put this together as I was watching these videos. But Dave, 2 of our best seasons have come off of fights in training camp. You look at the 2008 squad. Steve Smith socked Ken Lucas in his mouth. And then you got Josh Norman and Cam Newton going after it. We go to the Super Bowl. That's two of the best seasons. Not that, obviously we've had 2003 as well, but those are 2 great seasons. So Dave, I got a question for you. If you wanted to see 2 dudes lining up right here in the offseason to take us to the playoffs, who are you trying to see this offseason? Fisticuffs at training camp. Obviously, we won't nobody get hurt. But if you were to pick 2 dudes to go at it in training camp, who are you trying to see?
Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson.
Usually it's offense and defense, Dave.
No, I don't want to do that. No. Change it up a little bit.
That's funny.
Nah.
Yo, that's funny. They said Horn and DJ. That would be funny. We don't want to see them. We don't want to see them go after it. But
all right. If you want me to go defense versus offense, maybe Robbie Anderson and CJ Henderson, because there's been a lot of talk about CJ Henderson, and I think CJ Henderson got. I think
CJ might snap on somebody. Yeah, I think he might snap.
You might as well go with the guy with shooters. So we'll go with CJ versus Robbie.
CJ and Robbie with the fisticuffs. All right, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's got to be Sam and Robbie. It has to be after a bad throw.
Sam and Robbie going after I would die laughing if that happened, I would die. Obviously, I'm joking. I'm being facetious. We don't want to see anybody go after it, and I'm obviously it's just coincidence that dudes is getting in fights. But I just thought that was interesting. But he talked about a lot, Dave. He talked about a lot. He also talked about how the franchise year when he got franchise tag after the Super Bowl. He talked about how he did not want to leave. Like he did not want to leave Carolina, bro. He was going I think he said we offered him $30 million at first. And he said that was it was disrespectful. Then they got up to like 45. And he said, that wasn't good. And then all of a sudden we just rescinded the tag. And he had no idea. His agent, because he said he fired his agent, bro, because his agent did not communicate. His agent never got back to him about the negotiations. He wanted to stay. And I'm sure if the negotiations were done properly, we would have found a way to keep Josh Norman in Carolina because he said he wanted to stay, bro. He fired his agent because he didn't get a deal done with Carolina. So it's crazy. It's crazy, bro, man. It's crazy.
I will never forget that year, man. When we all knew that Norman was the guy that was going to get tagged. We knew he was getting tagged. That was
we all knew it
at the time. We knew what it was. And we're thinking, all right, either he's going to play on this tag or they're going to extend him. And then when he said that he wasn't going to play on the tag, and Goodwin was like, yank that tag. I said,
yanked it, bro. Yeah, they yanked it, and Josh was pissed. He said he went radio silent for 2 days to get his mind right because he was so mad. He also said that the Saints were on the line. It was between the Saints and the football team, and the football team did not let him leave the office. Essentially, they wouldn't let him leave. They got him in the office. They hammered out a deal. They would not let him leave, and he was on the phone with Sean Payton. Sean Payton said, "Just come down, see us." And obviously, the deal got done with the football team. But this is funny. Landon said, "Sam versus Robbie Hell in the Cell. Loser leave Carolina. Book it, Vince." I like that. Appreciate that super chat, Landon. That's dope. I like that. But yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. He talks about a lot, man. He goes into his childhood. He talked about being broke his rookie season. He got his first $10,000 check, and then all his family started coming out the woodworks. and then he was essentially broke, had to get it back right. Hey man, he talked about Odell Beckham and the rivalry that the media drummed up and how they kind of cool now and respectable. He talked about a lot, man. It was a really good interview. I don't know how Josh Norman ended up on Vlad. I have no idea how that even came to fruition. Like, why is Josh Norman of all people on Vlad TV?
Because Vlad goes after whoever they can get. And Vlad, if there's an interesting story, Josh has some interesting stories, bro.
He talked about Jay-Z. He talked about Jay-Z too. He talked about how he linked up with Jay, and Jay put him in the bar. You know the bar. I forgot how it go, but I'm not normal, Josh Norman, something like that. I forgot the bar, but he talked about sitting with Jay, how he sat all day with Jay at one point, and he got to hear the verse before it came out to the public. He had to act surprised when it got released. But yeah, he talked about a lot, man. He talked about a lot. It's interesting. You know, he's still a character at the end of the day. He's still Josh Norman. He's different. And he still acts that way. You can still see it. You can still see it when he's the same Josh. He also talked about he talked about having a chip on his shoulder. And he also talked about Steve Wilkes and how much of a help Steve Wilkes was his development. He talked about that a lot. He talked about how him and Steve used to line up in training camp, and how Josh, after he got benched, he used to be real pissed off, and he was like, Steve had to sit down and tell him, yo, you can't take it out on your teammates. Like, yo, we just, you gotta find another way to figure it out because you getting angry at everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. I know you mad. I know you upset you're not playing, but you can't take it out on us. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And he talked about the blood and guts game, about how Steve destroyed us. He talked about a lot, man. It was a lot, bro. It was a lot. It's like, I think, an hour some change interview, and then it's broken up into like clips. It's pretty dope, man. Pretty dope.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. I haven't watched it all yet. I gotta sit down and watch the whole thing. I think for me, the big reason why I would watch it is to talk about the Rivera doghouse, bro. Because I think folks hear about it, but that shit's serious, bro. And I think some folks realize it too, right? Like, when you're a rookie, you're already in the doghouse, and if you even earn your stripes and you screw up as a rookie, you out of here, brother. You gone. But he should have his own podcast. I don't know what Josh doing.
He should have something. He's a character, bro. And it's still in him. He still got that. He's a little off kilter. You know what I'm saying? He's just a little off, and it's okay. You know, it's nothing wrong with being, but you could tell he still got it in him, bro. But anyway,
he was on. Who played for last year? Buffalo, right?
Buffalo, I want to say.
It's been a minute.
He played for a couple of teams, man. I don't know who he got around to. I think it's Buffalo is his latest team. Let me see who he's with right now. Here. Oh, he's with the Niners. Who's the Niners?
Oh, he's with the Niners. He was a Buffalo.
I don't know who he's with now, though.
I don't know if he's still right now.
I don't know if he's still with the Niners. I don't know if he's still signed by them or not. Let me check his contract.
No, he's still signed. It looks like he ain't been cut yet.
He's old too, because he was older when he's 34 years old right now. Y'all got to remember, he was older when he got drafted.
Yeah. South Carolina, man, Greenwood, small ass town.
Yeah, went to Coastal. Yeah, he's a free agent right now.
Well, let's see if somebody wants to sign him.
I think
get that veteran presence.
He's a free agent. He is a free agent right now, I want to say.
He definitely outplayed his draft position, bro. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. I think 5th round, right?
Yeah, he outplayed his draft position from the Big South.
Yeah.
Before Coastal Carolina got FBS, he was in the Big South. All right, man.
So yeah. Shout out to Josh, man. Go check out the Vlad TV interviews. It's broken up into clips, so if you want to watch one at a time, he goes into a lot, childhood, all that stuff, all the way up through his career. And it's a good listen. I thought it was interesting, especially when he talks about the Carolina days and talks about Gettleman. He talks about Hurney. He talks about Ron Rivera. Talks about all that stuff. So it's very interesting. All right, let's move on. Dave, Panthers Confidential. Yes, Panthers
They
Confidential
watched it.
came out. So Dave, I'm gonna pass the floor to you. What's your thoughts? We love this series going back to last year. It was dope. Gave us insight into the draft room. Good, bad, ugly. Dave, what's your thoughts, man?
Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett were smoke screens, and y'all should have saw it coming, guys.
Smoke screen city. Smoke
Oh my
screen
God.
city, dog.
They had Matt Corral and Sam Howell ahead of those two.
They did. Sam Howell was on was the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't Matt, it was gonna be Sam.
It was gonna be Sam, and that's the thing, right? So that makes it more brilliant what they pulled off after they made the decision that they were going to trade it to the third. They were super patient, which was good because of all the quarterbacks that were left. They would have been fine with Howell, but it worked out for them, and they ended up getting their top guy.
You know, it's interesting because I think Sam Howell, Matt Corral are the exact guys. And listen, it's no secret. Like, this team has told you time and time and time again that they don't need a superstar. They're not necessarily trying to swing for the fences for a quarterback. They just want a guy that ain't gonna F it up. It's time, time after, even in the draft, even when they have the opportunity to draft somebody, they still aren't going. I mean, Matt Corral could turn out to be that guy. Don't get me wrong. But starting out, they're not looking for him to do that. They just want to get a guy that has the tools and that could be coached into something great. Go ahead.
It goes back to when Matt Rule first got here, and they made the decision to walk away from Cam, and they brought in Teddy. They thought all they needed Teddy to do was do enough. And then they said, well, obviously he ain't do enough, so we'll bring in Sam. All they needed Sam to do was do enough. So I don't understand why folks thought, oh, we'll just take they'll take a quarterback in the first round when their offensive line was in shambles all season. They knew they got to just put pieces around them. And I think they wanted Icky from the gate, and they were able to get Icky. And it was interesting that they had a conversation with the Giants before the pick too. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I caught that. I did catch that. That was pretty, like, trying to convince them to do certain things. Is that not like tampering? Like, can you do that?
No. Well, you heard the story about why. You heard the story. You heard the story about how why Megatron didn't go number 1 overall to the Raiders, right?
No, I didn't. What's up?
So the GM at the time for the Lions were Matt Millen. And Matt Millen called Al Davis and straight up said, yo, there's no way you're going to draft Jamarcus Russell number 1 overall, are you? And that made Al Davis draft Jamarcus Russell number 1 overall. Like, the Lions had no interest in taking Jamarcus Russell at 2. Their guy was Megatron all along, right? But because that phone call and that discussion happened, Al Davis was like, F that. And they took Jamarcus Russell number 1 overall, and the Lions proceeded to take Megatron number 2. And the rest is history. So they can't have conversations.
So but going back to the Confidential, right? And going back to Icky, it's crazy how, like, that was their guy the entire time. They wanted Icky. Or let me say this, and that's at least how the video was cut, right? Because a lot of things could be said that were edited and not put in the video to make it seem they could have said a lot of things, but it appears that Icky was their guy that they wanted all along, and they ended up landing him. They got him. It seems like if you kind of look at the context clues, when Evan Neal and Icky were on the board, they were like, we're going to get one of the two. We're going to get one of the two. And they were excited either way. But it appears that they got the guy that they wanted in Icky, which is dope. I mean, he's the hometown kid. And they landed the guy they wanted. It's interesting how it felt. And like Dave said, Malik, Kenny, they were never in play. Not at 6. Not at 6. They were never in play, bro.
But and how so would have been, which is wild to me, by the way. I don't think no QB was, but I think if they had to take if the board would have exploded, if the board would have exploded and the 3 linemen were gone, they probably would have took Howell. Not Howell, I mean Corral, which is wild. But the board would have to explode. We're talking Neal,
it would have had to
Cross,
go. Yeah, it would have had to go
Neal,
way.
Icky, and
Yeah,
Cross were gone before they went to 6. It had to explode at that point.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It would have had to been really, really interesting if it would have went down that way. Um, but yeah, and then what else? What else did we learn? I think McAdoo, he loved Corral.
Mm-hmm.
Corral was his guy. Um, he talked about some of the traits that he got. He has a chance to be. He said, "quote He has a chance to be unique. He's my kind of guy with the way he's built, his athleticism, the way he throws it, and can pull the trigger. I can feel him on tape. He competes. He's got passion. He's got something that can make him special, and that's the way he gets the ball out of his hands. So they love that. You know, he said, "You hit the lotto coming here. I loved you from the beginning. We're gonna get you in here, get you spinning it, and you're gonna have a lot of fun in the process." So it looks like they wanted, that was their guy. That was their guy, and it's dope if it works out. And listen, what we're going to find out is, we've got all these hypotheticals and all these sayings about McAdoo and these quarterbacks, right? About how he said he ranked all these quarterbacks and he picked Mahomes and all this other crap and all that, blah 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 blah. The rubber hits the road right now because you were never on. You never got a hold of one of these guys. Now you got a hold of one that you wanted. So now you can't fake it. You can't get out of this one, right? It is what it is at this point. Your name is tied to a guy that you actually picked up. So now it's on you. If all the sayings are true, then we want to see it. We want to see once you develop this cat. So I think it's dope.
Yeah, I think it's dope. Icky got to stay home.
Yep.
And then the other kid got to stay home. Amaro, I think his name was.
Amari Barno.
Yeah, Amari Barno.
Yeah.
Yep, he got to stay home. So it was dope, man. I love the draft. So I think it kind of confirmed what I thought I knew all along, that it had to be ugly for us not to take offensive tackle around 1. Ugly.
So here we go. This conversation again. He says, "Do y'all think?" Shout out to Steve for Super Chat. He says, "Do y'all think they will give Corral team game 1 if he balls before week 1?" Listen, we talked about
if he wins the job, yes, but he has to win the job. I just don't.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna bring him along a little bit slower. But if he goes out there during training camp, he kills it, and he goes out there in preseason and kills it, I don't see any reason why you should wait. If he goes out there and pulls a Russell Wilson, go make it happen. But I don't.
Here's one for y'all. If Corral's out there week 1, you might as well bet your home that Matt Rule will be back for another season.
Well, we are. Yeah, I think we've already come to grips with that. Based on what's been.
No, I mean, but if they make the decision, if Corral's not ready and they still make the decision to bring him out there week 1, you can already go in and bank that he's going to be here regardless. I'm already there, but that'll confirm it even more. So we don't know that Matt Corral's better than Sam Darnold right now, dude.
Yeah, we don't know that. Everybody keeps saying that, bro. We don't know that. And then we're going to get into that a little bit later.
I think you guys are being very disrespectful to what it takes to be in the pros, bro. Like, I really do think you guys are being way disrespectful. Like, that shit's easy. It's not. It really isn't. It's not. Find the best sport that you can play, and I bet you Sam Darnold will beat your ass in it. And it don't have to be football either. Like, these cats are athletes, bro. Like, I can't go there.
No, I mean, I think Matt can be nice, man. I'm telling you, I like Matt, but bro, like, y'all.
But he don't have to be nice week 1 is what I'm getting at. He doesn't have to be nice week 1. Have some patience, guys. Rome wasn't built in a day. Jesus, I can't believe I said that. All right, moving on.
Dave, are you drinking if you come up here and say the brand, I'm gonna slap the shit out you, Dave. I promise you. Don't do that. Dave,
you're gonna virtually slap the shit out of me?
Kool-Aid. I will.
Don't worry, bro.
Will.
I would never call it that. I mean, they can make the playoffs. Why can't they make the playoffs?
I think it's a possibility. Sure.
It's a possibility they can make the playoffs. Get the 7th seed. They can make the playoffs.
It took Jason. Yo, y'all are funny, man.
Oh,
yeah. But so any other takeaways? Also, I think Phil Snow likes Brandon Smith a lot. He said in regards to Brandon Smith, he said this guy is big. He can move. He's got long arms, big hands. If he dropped at all in the draft, I'd take him in a heartbeat. And that's exactly what they did. And so yeah, I think, and that's exactly I echo those comments. I like Brandon Smith a lot. He's raw. He's gonna have to develop. But man, if he ever puts it together, bro, he's gonna be a good player, bro. Really good player. But yeah. All right. Any more thoughts? Anything else that we saw from this thing, man?
I thought it was well done. I really do. And I thought it was hilarious. Do you want to talk about the Matt Rule? I want to get a good term. The Matt Rule publicity tour, try to make him seem like he's a good guy.
Yeah,
and I think he is a good guy.
That. I've seen that though. I've seen that trying to soften him up a little bit. Pause. But
they are.
I mean, I don't care what you listen. At the end of the day, you got it all. I don't care what they put out there publicly or whatever they're trying to do, however they're trying to spin it, bro. If you don't get W's, we don't care, bro. You can spin it all the way you want to spin it. The social media team could do their best Photoshop, their best After Effects edits. But at the end of the day, Matt Rule is who he is, and if you can't go out there and get W's, nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. But anyway, any other final takeaways from Panthers Confidential?
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm kind of intrigued to see who's going to end up starting week 1 out of this bunch. I know for a fact one person, 2 people will. One obviously will. Yeah.
I got 1.
I got 2.
Matt Nicky?
No. Nope. I think Brandon Smith's going to be starting.
Nah, I don't think so, bro. Yeah, I think you tripping.
Nope.
Nah, no chance.
I think I don't think they're going to have a choice, bro. I don't think they have a choice. I just don't think they're going to have a choice. That's what it boils down to with Brandon Smith.
There's always going to be a choice, bro.
Nah, well, we'll see. I mean, Icky's obvious, right? I don't think
Icky's starting.
If Icky doesn't start, we got bigger problems.
Yeah, we got big problems.
Yeah, if he can't beat out these dudes,
that's something nobody's really talking about, right? Everybody, Icky left tackle, franchise left tackle of the future, but I don't think too many people think about the possibility if he happens to fail. I think we got a good backup plan in Christensen, but if he doesn't start, boy, that's
he's going to start on the line. He's going to start on the line, and it won't be a panic if he loses the job to left tackle because they'll put him at guard. So I'm not too worried about it from that standpoint.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about what if he just wasn't? Because obviously, I've always been on the side of if he's playing guard, he's going to be an elite guard. I've always said that. I said that. I think he's going to start. I kind of jumped out the window when we first drafted him, and I said he was going to start at left guard, and I take that back. I do think he's going to start at left tackle. I think he's going to be a damn good left tackle. But if he does slide in the guard, he will be a damn good guard as well. Shout out to Dante. He says, was the Baker Mayfield trade talks during the draft a smokescreen because it was mentioned? It wasn't mentioned. Of course, they're not going to mention it because they can't.
They can't.
He's on another team's roster, so they can't actively talk about it and put it out there like that. So they can't. And so they probably, now don't get me wrong, it probably was discussed, but they can't like put it out there in the media and all. They can't do all that. They can't do all that.
They did talk about the Patriots trade though, which was interesting. That Bill wanted a future second.
Yeah, no, that was good negotiation. Shout out to Fit. Fit negotiated that thing down. They said, "Nah, we're not giving you any seconds too much," and I think we got it. I mean, we keep flipping these third rounders. I'm not mad at it because again, we could replace next year's third rounder with something else. We did it this year. We replaced our third rounder this year, so I'm not mad at them continuously flipping the third rounder if we need to. I don't care as long as we didn't get rid of our second round pick. We got a second round pick next year. We got our first round pick intact, so we're good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. But anyway, any more thoughts? Panthers Confidential.
I'm good on Panthers Confidential, man. What's next up for bid?
All All right, let's roll. Again, follow us on all the socials at Panther Nation PC, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff, man. We greatly appreciate that. And if you want to help the channel out even further, go to patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. Check us out, sign up. And yeah, shout out to all the free agents, man. It's a bunch of y'all. We appreciate y'all support. And trust me, we give it right back to y'all. We're gonna give we're gonna do some giveaway. We got some good giveaways coming in. As soon as I land these tickets, bro, the giveaway is gonna be crazy. If you don't know, I purchased a PSL, the 2 PSL tickets in the club seats. So for every game that I'm not giving away to my family, my parents, and for a game that Dave is not going to attend, I will be giving away the tickets, or at least one ticket, to our Patreon members for our MVP. For our MVP members, and if they can't go, we'll knock it down to the free agents, and then and franchise guys, respectively. So again, box seats, we're giving it right back to y'all. So the support goes right back to y'all, man. We greatly appreciate it. Shout out to all the franchise guys, man. We appreciate y'all support too. And then MVP, we definitely got to do some more MVP giveaways coming up. That will be a part of it. Those tickets I just mentioned. We also, come training camp, we're gonna have a lot of signed memorabilia. Again, last year we couldn't get that much signed stuff because of COVID, and the year prior to that. But y'all know how I am. The longtime listeners, y'all know how I get down with the autographs. I'm gonna be getting a lot of autographs, and I give this stuff away live on the show. So even if you're a watcher, you're a viewer, and you're not a Patreon member, you never know. You might cop something. So you always want to be watching PNP because you never know when I'm gonna give some away. So shout out to again all of our Patreon members. We appreciate the support, and we give it right back to y'all. And we start with the MVPs. So stay tuned to the MVP giveaways. They're coming out, and we owe y'all PNP Confidential coming soon. All right. Dave, Underdog Fantasy.
The NBA Finals is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen. So the first game is on Thursday. We can do the over-unders with Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown when it comes to points, rebounds, combination of both with assists. So the way to pick them works is that you pick over/under based on points or rebounds or whatever categories they currently have. If you get 3 right, you can win 6 times your money. If you get 5 right, you can win up to 20 times your money. And sometimes, depending on the game, Underdog Fantasy does special lines. They just recently did a special line recently. Also, please check out Underdog Fantasy. And also, with the NFL season starting to approach, they also have a $10 million best ball league where you draft your players. And I can do a separate show if you want to talk about best ball leagues and things of that sort. So just go to underdogfantasy.com, use the code PNP. Once again, go to underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up, you can use the code PNP. And by the way, guys, they're still matching your deposit up to $100. So if you haven't set your account up yet, you should have already, but I need more. If you guys can, go to underdogfantasy.com and use the code PNP when you sign up. Underdog Fantasy, guys. Thanks.
All right, so let's jump into these takeaways, man. OTA, they've been upon us. There's been a lot of things, interviews, a lot of little nuggets that we have learned. Dave, have you heard anything out in these streets? Have you heard anything? You gotta talk about it.
Look, man, I haven't looked at any of the OTA streets yet. I haven't looked. I haven't seen how things gone in the Panthers Olympics in shorts. I haven't heard anything yet. I haven't been watching.
Yeah, man. So I got you. Don't worry, Dave, because I've been watching. A lot of things are out there. A couple of things. One of the biggest things, obviously, is Christian McCaffrey, right? Christian McCaffrey, his health, and he appears to be 100% ready to go. However, Dave, according to Matt Rule, they ain't gonna be playing him during the preseason. Now, I don't know if that's the right. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Well, they didn't hardly play him in the last one either, though. In his defense,
they didn't play him at all. And did that work out that great for him, Dave?
It didn't stop him getting hurt. I'll say that.
Exactly. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Listen, I'm no doctor, but you can't hold him with kid gloves this entire time and then throw him out there day one, week one, and give him like 70 carries, because that's typically what happens. We don't play him, and then you give him like a shit ton of carries week one, and then I don't know, man. I don't know if this is the right thing. But here's the quote. The quote is that I would hold him out of all the preseason games again. I think he's had enough hits on his body, but I think just as we move forward, we're going to have a little bit of a different strategy practice-wise with him. And then McCaffrey said, in regards to this, he said, constant listening to your body, just listen to my body, do all the little things correct, eat right, sleep right, eliminate any other kind of energy exertions. I know how I feel, and just trusting in that trusting in that and not overdoing and not underdoing it. So I don't know, man. I don't know what all that means. It just appears that he's going to take his time. I know he said he had a conversation with Marshall Faulk, which is interesting. He had a conversation with Marshall Faulk this offseason, didn't detail all of what he talked about, but he did talk to Marshall Faulk about, extending his career and make sure he stays healthy. So hopefully that works out, and hopefully learn some valuable things from him, as Marshall Faulk had a long career in the NFL. So I think that's the biggest takeaway, man. Biggest takeaway, Christian McCaffrey is not going to play in the preseason. And, he is in OTAs. He's running around, and they're going to monitor him during practice. That's the biggest thing. Any thoughts on that, Dave? Shout out to Mangum Code, just showing some love. Appreciate that, bro.
I don't agree, bro. Like, I just don't agree. They need to play him. But I understand that he's damned if you do, damned if you don't, though. Because if they play him in the preseason, he gets hurt, then we're gonna crucify him. Well, the media crucify him. I think if they play him, he gets hurt, I won't be as angry about it, because I think it's the right call. But a lot of folks will crucify him if they play him. Even though I think that he might have also learned his lesson, that if he does make the decision to sit him out through the preseason, and they play him week one, I don't think he's going to get like 30 touches again. And when I start doing my fantasy videos, we're going to have that discussion about that.
No, I agree, Dave. I think the 30 touch days, especially I think those days are over, man. I really think that they finally are going to figure it out, and maybe he'll get 30 carries every now and then, but the consistent, 30, 40 touches, that's not sustainable, bro, for anybody.
I think it's gonna. Not granted. Like, for those who know me, my philosophy about running backs in fantasy is 20 touches is what you want if you're gonna take a running back early, and he'll fit that bill. I still think he'll get 20 touches. I don't think he's gonna ever break 30 again. I don't.
Yeah, I think it could happen. I think it could happen on an occasional game, but I think they learn. Like, I'm with you, Dave. I think they learned their lesson on this, bro. I think you got to get Foreman involved. You got to get Chuba involved. You got to get DJ the football. You got to get Terrace Marshall the football more. You got to get Robbie. There's so many weapons on this team to force Christian McCaffrey the football is just unacceptable. It's too many weapons on this team. So you got to find a way to get everybody involved. And I just think getting him having more than 50% of the touches. We did that exercise last year, and we broke that down. He was just constantly. I think he had over 45 to 50% of the touches overall for the team. That's too much. It's just too much.
Yeah,
they gotta stop doing.
Foreman's going to get more love than people are going to realize, man. Like, I think if they're serious about running the ball 25, 30 times a game, I mean, I could see Christian McCaffrey getting 20 touches a game, and I could see Foreman getting 10, Chuba getting like 5, something like that. Like,
I'd like to see CMC down to the 10 to 15 touches, and I'd like to see. That's where I would like to see him, because if he's down that low pause, I think that means everybody else is getting the football, and that's what I want to see. I want to see distribution of the rock. That's what I want to see. I just don't want to see them turn around handing off to Christian McCaffrey and just hoping he makes it happen. I don't want to see that because again, as much as we love Christian McCaffrey, all those touches never equated to W's. Then that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. We love Christian McCaffrey, but the 2,000-yard season that everybody remembers from him, what was the team's record? 5 wins. So nobody gives a shit. So I mean, it's about team W's, not individual accomplishments, man. It was a great season, but nobody cares. So we got to spread the football around. 10 to 15 for CMC. And again, there's going to be an occasional 20-25. I get it occasionally, but the consistent 25-30 touches just can't happen. It can't happen. All right. So another takeaway. Dave, Robbie Anderson was not there.
He wasn't there last year, was he? But last year was a solid holdout. Like I thought last year.
Well, that was during training camp, though. That was during training camp. He that was his holdout was during training camp, where he missed a couple of days. This is voluntary workouts. Obviously, Matt Rule, who knows the man, goes back to Temple days with him. He said he's not concerned. In fact, he said this. He said, "Nope, it's voluntary. I actually believe in it being voluntary. I think it's great. At the end of the day, the guys that are here. The one thing about Robbie, Robbie's going to be in the best shape of his life. He was here for a while, so not a concern for me." All right. So, Xavier Woods, who was also not there. Cam Irving is also not there. I think they both had babies, not with each other, obviously, pause. But they both had kids with their significant others. So shout out to them. They were also not in attendance. So yeah. Any thoughts on Robbie, Dave, on why he's not showing up? He's got a new number 3.
I don't. So we
but
got
still
2
not
and 3. I mean, I think veterans preference. I would assume, right? Like him and Rule go way back, like you said. So I don't think there's no reason to be concerned about it. That man just got his bag, so I don't think he got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. I don't think we should be worried about anything. Also, Brady Christensen. Is Brady Christensen going to compete with Icky at the left tackle? And Matt Rule said this in regards to the offensive line. You can kind of see some things. You can listen. I want your thoughts on this, Dave, on what Matt Rule says. He says, yes, I don't see Brady going over to the right side. We see Brady being a left tackle, left guard, and center. He says playing along the left-hand side. Dennis Daly really doing the same thing on the right side, playing right guard, right tackle. Cade Mays, really young player, is playing center, guard, and tackle. He's really one of those few guys that's playing 3 positions. A lot of the other guys like Icky, we just kind of settled him at left tackle. Michael Jordan settled him in at left guard. So there's a lot of good competition in those spots. We do our best to get we'll do our best to get the best 5 out there. So Dave, what's your thoughts on that offensive line? I don't like how Michael Jordan's name came up in that conversation. I know he's had some good games.
But you know what I do like? You know what I do like? I didn't hear Pat Eflin. I didn't have Pat Eflin.
You did not. You didn't hear Pat. You didn't hear Cam.
I didn't hear Cam. I didn't hear none of them.
True.
So if you're telling me if you're telling me that I gotta hear Michael Jordan, I don't have to hear Cam and Pat, I'm cool with it. I'm rolling.
Yeah, no, and you didn't hear Deontay Brown name either. So I don't know where he fits into this conversation, but y'all know I like Deontay. We'll probably never see him play guard in any meaningful snaps other than road grading at the goal line. But yeah, he likes the Michael Jordan guy. Michael Jordan had some awful games. He had some really bad games. But he's a tough kid. He's a tough run blocking type guy. So again, if they want to turn around, hand the football off 40 times a game with Deontay Foreman, Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard in a rotation, that's kind of what they want. I don't. It's not a bad thing, but again, when you start dropping back throwing passes, Michael Jordan is not your answer. He's not that guy, bro. Guy. He's not. He's just not. So I don't know, man. But I do like how they have those guys. It's starting to take shape a little bit. You got Icky. Mm-hmm. You got Bradley Bozeman, who's probably going to start at center. You got Austin Corbett playing right guard, and then you're going to have Moulton playing left tackle. Really, the only question is, right tackle. The only question is the left guard position. And I like how he has those other guys like Dennis Daly, Cade Mays, Brady Christensen. Those guys are going to be able to take those swing roles, and they'll be able to. Now we actually have some good depth. I like the way this offensive line is shaping up. I'm really happy. I just don't know I don't know. This is a Cash says, who do you think the best option for left guard is? I don't.
Christensen?
Maybe. I don't think he's the best left guard though. I don't think so.
Who's better than him at left guard? Don't you say Deontay Brown because he wasn't mentioned.
No, I don't know. We don't know. No, I don't know. Of those that were mentioned,
I think it's Christensen.
It just depends. It depends what you want to execute, bro. Like it really does. I think Christensen will probably be a better pass blocking guard than Michael Jordan would be. But are you going to run the ball 30 times? Or are you going to pass the ball 30 times? What do you want to do? What are you going to try to dictate? And if it's running the football, Michael Jordan might be your best option. I don't know.
But the thing is, that's all about game planning, right? Like your game plan, So like if you out here saying, "Oh, we want to run the ball 40 times," and then you end up down 21 points, you're gonna just throw Christensen in there mid stride because you know Michael Jordan to get your ass killed, get your quarterback killed. So like that's my thing, right? So you're gonna have to take the lesser of two evils when it comes to that, and I think Christensen's probably gonna fit the bill more than Michael Jordan will.
I think it just depends what you want to do. And listen, at the end of the day, Dave, the fact that we're having this conversation is a great thing. We haven't had this type of conversation about our offensive line, and I'm happy about it. I'm not complaining one bit. We just got to figure out that last puzzle piece. I think Slim said it in the chat. You got to watch the preseason to figure it out. They're gonna the starting five rotation probably won't be figured out until the preseason, but they're gonna get the best five out there according to Matt Rule, and I like the way it's shaping up. So I'm cool with it. Anything else on the offensive line?
Nah, man. I'm happy it's finally taking shape.
Yeah. So, and here's the last takeaway. One of the biggest takeaways from OTA so far is that Sam Darnold, Dave, your boy, he got a little edge coming out of him. Pause. Hey, listen.
He found his edge after 4 years, huh?
He found his edge. He's finding that edge. Dave. And this is what Matt Rule said in regards to Sam Darnold. He said, I think what Sam's been through this offseason is hard. Your back is against the wall. Everyone's kind of questioning what you can or cannot do. You can have all the confidence in yourself and still say, hey, I need to work on these things. A lot of people get that confused. I think Sam has to have confidence in himself, his ability to work through and grind and develop, and at the same time identify things he has to improve on. I think we've seen this guy that showed up. He's got a little bit more edge to him, a little bit more, hey, I'm going to show people what I can do. That's what Matt Rule said about Sam Darnold, what he's seen so far. And this is what Sam Darnold said about himself. He says, everyone, including myself, everyone knows the situation. All right. He says, but with that being said, it doesn't change my mindset going into the offseason. I'm just trying to have a great attitude about myself, going into every day and just trying to soak it all up and learn the offense as much as I can. Well, I think for me, it really starts with really just understanding the offense, understanding the defense, and what's really going on out there with confidence that I can go out there. As long as I know what we're doing and what the defense is doing, I'm confident that I can be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I'm just going to continue to go out there and do that. So that's what Sam Darnold said, Dave. I mean, that's really all he can say. What else is he supposed to say? I suck. What is he going to say?
One game at a time.
I mean,
one day at a time.
Listen, here's the thing, and this is what makes it interesting about the Matt Corral. I don't think really nobody's talking about this, but this is what makes the Matt Corral versus Sam Darnold situation a little intriguing because at the end of the day, if we had a system that was continuing from last year where Sam Darnold knew the system, right? And Sam Darnold had the edge on Matt Rule. I mean, on Matt Corral. we would really be on the Sam Darnold's going to be starting because he already knows the system. The problem is that Sam Darnold and Matt Corral are going to be learning the system at the same time, right? This is a new system via Ben McAdoo. So they're starting off at the same point. The only thing that Sam can really lean on is his prior experience, and it's not good experience, right? He's got some trash experience to go back to. And so that's the thing. Can Matt Corral has the opportunity to overtake him because they're starting from the same point. The only thing that separates Matt Corral and Sam Darnold is 4 years of bum playing from Sam Darnold.
Or you could say it like this: 4 years of NFL experience.
Yeah, but that's not the best experience to pull from. All experience isn't created equal. Some experience leads you to seeing ghosts.
That's why we play the Patriots twice a year, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, like, all the folks that are talking about, Matt Corral starting day one, it's most certainly a possibility. It is, and I'm not gonna say either way because I don't know, and until I see it out there in training camp, I can't I can't tell you yes or no who's gonna start. I don't know, but it's kind of a good problem to have. As long as we have some options behind Sam, we've seen what Sam could do. We've seen some good, we've seen some really bad, and we've seen some terrible, ugly play from him. Well, we don't know what we're going to see moving forward. Is he going to turn the corner? He still could. It's a possibility. But how many guys have turned the corner in their 5th year and just turned out to be great? Dave, do you know anybody off the top of your head that's been trashed for 4 years and then all of a sudden their 5th season come out and ball?
Not 4 years. I remember Drew Brees was terrible when he first came out, but Drew Brees wasn't a first-round pick either. I don't think people forget that Drew Brees was not a good quarterback when he first came into the league. He was so bad that they drafted a quarterback in the first round to replace him, and then all of a sudden the light switch happened. That's the only guy I could think of off the top of my head, but I don't think it was 4 years. I have to go back and check. That's the only person I can think of.
Yeah, I just think he kind of is who he is.
But man. He ain't Drew Brees. Yeah. I don't think he's like what happened with Drew Brees is like there's an exception to that shit.
This is a little interesting. Tannehill, once they took the ball out of his hands and they started with the run first offense.
Tannehill wasn't terrible. Tannehill wasn't terrible in Miami. Tannehill Tannehill just didn't get no protection. Tannehill didn't have protection.
I think that's the closest. But neither did Sam though. Now Sam will have protection this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
And a decent run game. I just think that I don't know, but Tannehill is probably a good comparison.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner, I don't know about Kurt. Kurt. Oh, how long was Kurt came off the bus slinging that thing? Pause.
Yeah, but he wasn't a rookie when he came out. Dude went to NFL Europe. Like
that don't count.
Yeah. Steve Young wasn't that good when he first came to the league. And neither was Brett Favre. But,
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just listen, my hopes are very slim for Sam. I don't think he's going to just flip the switch all of a sudden. Because we talk, it's a lot of people to say, he got to improve offensive line now, but the stats show that he sucks behind a clean line too. That's what the stats show, bro. So, yeah, but this ain't the same. That's not what I'm talking about.
That ain't the same, bro.
This ain't the same. Josh was good. Josh was good. Like he just needed to get like he just had to develop better. He just got better and better.
He wasn't good his first year, but his second year he showed flashes.
But was he ever as terrible as a Sam Darnold? No, I'm talking about terrible play. I'm talking about trash, terrible, garbage. That's what I'm talking about. From that to even being mid, and I think Tannehill is probably the best comparison so far. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers that's different. That's different. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers sat behind a Hall of Fame legend, bro. That's different. That's different. I'm talking about guys that got on the field that were trash.
That 2018 draft's gonna be remembered
But
for years.
I don't know, man. But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be out there watching like a hawk, man. We're gonna be out there watching on training camp. We're gonna see what's up with Matt. We're gonna see what's up with Sam. Who gonna look the best? We're gonna see.
Yo, people forget that Tannehill took them boys to the playoffs. Some of that's very forgotten.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I ain't gonna lie, you're right.
Trubisky led a team to the playoffs too.
Yeah, he did.
But then you say, well, Trubisky had this great defense. Yeah, you're right. Trubisky had
part
help.
of it. That's part of it.
You gotta have help. You gotta have pieces of the puzzle. I was making Twitter angry, man, because a lot of them are really trying to convince me that Baker is that much better than Sam. And I'm like, guys, I don't see it, guys. I just don't see it. I'm not seeing what y'all are seeing.
I think there's some things he does better, but I don't want all that what comes with it. It's not just about talent. There's outside factors. That dude is not what I want on this team, bro. It's just not. I'm sorry. He ain't it. And the truth be told, there is a contingent of, I think there's some mixed and what the reports are saying, there's some mixed opinions on him. And that's why you keep hearing his name pop up with tied to the Carolina Panthers, because there's some people in the coaching in the front office that want him, and then I think McAdoo is like, nah. I think it's Matt Rule. If you read what's out there, it's between Matt Rule. Matt Rule wants him. McAdoo doesn't. That's kind of what's being read. And again, don't take that for a grain of salt. I don't know if that's true. Don't put that out there as gospel and say Rashad said this, but that's basically you putting 2 and 2 together, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. So I'm good. I'm good on Sam. You roll what you got, or go in another route. He ain't it.
The bottom line is the Browns don't want to pay the bulk of that contract, and I think that's where the rubber hits the road.
They paying it regardless. They paying it. Either you keeping them on the roster, or you cutting them. You paying them. The best thing for them is to take any offer that cuts some of that, bulk of salary or not. Anybody willing to take even some of that salary, you take that deal. Or you just not gonna have them on your roster. You're gonna pay them $18 million regardless. So it just doesn't make sense for them to hold on to him. When you have another team willing to pay some of that salary, it's dumb. It's dumb. That's dumb negotiating on their side.
I mean, Jake was never brought in to be a starter when he was playing for the Saints.
Yeah, but Jake get starting experience? And Jake was always mid. Like, he was never terrible. He was never great. He been mid. Jake was always supported. Don't get it twisted. Mm-hmm. He always had support with him.
David Carr never turned that shit around.
Nah, he tried.
David Carr was never good. Nope. All right.
So that's all the OTA takeaways that I have. Real quick, there's a couple other topics that I wanted to talk about. Did you hear about Jeff Gladney that got into a car accident? He played for the I think the Cardinals most recently. He passed away.
Died, right?
Yeah, he passed away, which is unfortunate. Yeah, that sucks, man.
2020 first round pick.
Yeah, 25 years old, man. It happened this morning at 2:30 this morning. Car accident in Dallas County. He went to TCU. I think him and whoever, there was another girl with him that also passed. He was cut. It was 2020 first round pick by the Vikings. They released him last August after he was indicted on a charge for assaulting. Well, he was. That's irrelevant because he was exonerated for those. He was found not guilty, so that's irrelevant. He played 50 games in 4 seasons for TCU. That's when he was TCU. So yeah, man. So man, it's unfortunate, bro. That sucks. 25 years old, way too young, bro. Way too young, man. Way too young.
You got your whole future ahead of you.
Yeah, and then another piece of news. I think they released the schedule for cuts this offseason. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, roster. Here's the roster cuts. The dates are as follows. The first reduction will come August 16th when the players must get down. They go from 90 to 85. And then there'll be 2 more cuts on the 23rd and 30th where they've got to get down from 85 to 80 and then 80 to 53.
Wow, that's a freaking that is a crazy.
Yeah, I think it was like that last year too.
Oh.
And then the last preseason game's on the 26th. So after that game on the 30th, they'll get down to 53.
We don't play the Steelers this year.
Nope, we sure don't. We sure don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out practice, yo. When they
I got that Bills game. Forgot since I'm gonna have season tickets now. I'm gonna go to that Bills game, bro. Outside of that, man, is there anything else we need to talk about in the chat? Anything else Dave and I need to discuss?
Not Panthers related.
What's up? What you got?
Man, I'm still recovering from the track coach leaving A&T to go to Tennessee, bro.
Oh yeah, I saw that, man. Get your bag.
Oh nah, he definitely got his bag. But you know what I learned upon getting his bag? The dude was making SEC coaches money already. Like they were paying him over $300,000 at A&T.
Hey, he earned every penny of it too.
Yeah, he did. They were saying his salary was like $230, and he got like another almost $100K in incentives based on performance. And he almost won a national championship in the indoor. He was national runner-up, and it was top 3 in the outdoor. And the men has a shot to win a national championship this year too in the outdoor. So we'll see. He goes to Tennessee right after the season ends. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, man, big loss. I think folks are worried about whether or not they're going to lose their recruits, because their recruits are pretty good track stars, man.
They probably gonna take some of them with them. It happens.
Yeah, his son's probably going to go pro. His daughter's still there too. So we'll see.
Money talks, man. They should have gave him a bigger bag. Whatever bag they you got to match the bag, bro.
Yeah, they said he's 5 highest paid coach. Well, he's number 3 in this conference when it comes to pay.
Collins says something cool. I saw J.C. Horn's trainer says he thinks he'll be the best cornerback he ever coached. Trainers also coached Ramsey, Terrell, and other elite cornerbacks. Listen, listen. Horn gonna be, man, and we got Wilkes back. Listen, bro, I really feel like when you listen to what Josh Norman said about Wilkes, like I really think Wilkes is gonna be that dude that's the linchpin to this second. I think the secondary is gonna be really good this year. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm talking about top 7 secondary in the league. I really got high hopes. High hopes. We don't have a fullback on the roster. A real one. Reese don't count. So if he does, then we ain't got one to use. We don't got a real fullback. Yeah, but I think Wilkes is gonna really top 7 secondary, bro. I'm rolling. I'm rolling. I think Henderson ball. I think everybody gonna ball out, bro. Career year for Henderson. I know that ain't saying much because his career ain't really been shit, but I think he'll have a good year. Henderson is this year, and I'm here for it. Switching to 24, everybody that puts on that 2-4 ends up good, bro. Now we got to get something else. We got to get some newer than thieves. We got to call them something else.
We got to change the name,
I think
man.
Dante was the third round pick, I believe. Third or fourth or second? No, Dante was second.
Second.
Dante was second. Dante was second. But all right, anything else, man? Before we get up out of here, bro, I will, because I gotta go check on my wife. It's her birthday, so I can't be up here all night.
Well, you sure can't. You got things to do.
Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the vibes. I don't know what you're talking about with Alabama. We already talked about Alabama last week with Saban and all that. I don't know what else you're talking about.
That was, he apologized. He did apologize. NCAA is about to be a mess, man. I personally think the SEC is going to do their own thing. They're gonna walk away from NCAA. That's my personal opinion on it. I think they're gonna walk away from that shit.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna happen. Dave, you go. Why you gotta take it all the way there, bro? How they gonna walk away?
You know how much money they have? They don't need the NCAA. They don't need the NCAA.
What does that look like?
What does it look like? If they decide to do their own playoff structure, if they don't want to abide by the NCAA rules, they can run their own organization. They're big enough to do it themselves. The SEC is worth over $1 billion. They can run it themselves. They don't need the NCAA to run their sport leagues. They could just play each other. That's just my opinion. I think you're
just looking at it from a football standpoint, bro. I think there's a whole bunch of other sports.
No. I know what you think. I know what you mean. You're like, well, what about all the other sports? I mean, the bigger challenge would be the basketball side. Everything else is non-revenue, so that's not a big deal. Because the football programs pay for everybody else. Even in FBS, that's still prevalent. The football programs pay for the rest of the non-revenue paying sports. Football and basketball pays for it all. I think they're gonna do something. They're gonna like a decade ago was about the Power Five having their own piece of the pie. And now it's gonna be about the big conferences walking away from NCAA. Okay. We'll see.
I'm with you, ICP. Go ahead. Dave just be talking. This been my whole life with Dave, bro. Dave just be talking.
All I'm gonna say is this.
And then half of it hit. So then he be looking like a genius. But he don't mention the other half that are incorrect.
We elect folks who tell the truth less than I do, who get shit That's right true. Than I do. I think I'm okay. I think I'm doing all right.
You're right about that. That's a fact. Can't even hate there.
I think I'm doing okay. Nah, but seriously, like, I mean, even at the worst case scenario, right? Even if like the Power Five conferences make the decision to just do their own thing, walk away from the NCAA, they could do it. They could absolutely do it. There's enough teams for them to do it. All this reorganization, there's enough of them to do it.
Yeah. All right. I gotta get out of here, man. Yeah, I gotta get out of here, man. Bro. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments, all that good stuff, man. We real close to 17,000. We just need like 150 more subs or something like that. So if you're new here, you just happen to be perusing through, hit the subscribe button for your boy, and let's get up there. A lot of good content coming. Check out the Patreon. We're gonna be doing some ticket giveaways. It's gonna be lit. All right. Like, subscribe. So y'all better be Heel Dave. Nah, we don't want Heel Dave back. Y'all
better enjoy this. Jersey's on. Like, y'all better enjoy this shit while you got it, because
Heel Dave is something else, bro. Heel Dave is worse. You really want to hear some hot takes? That's worse.
Look, man. Just give me my credit where it's due. That's all. Because y'all only go at me when I'm wrong. Y'all never give me credit when I'm right. When I told y'all,
we give you a little bit of credit.
I get crumbs of credit compared to the heat that I get when I'm wrong, bro. I get crumbs of credit. # crumbs of credit.
All right, y'all. We out, man. We'll holler at y'all.
We out,
Peace
man.
out.
Keep pounding, guys.